The powerful behind the scenes. Who really runs the UFC? In the UFC, the audience often sees only the most famous faces, like the fighters. But behind the cameras and in the shadows of the octagon, there are essential individuals who are rarely mentioned yet play a fundamental role in the success of every event. These professionals are always present at the fights, whether planning matchups, handling negotiations, ensuring fighter safety, or managing production so every detail is perfect. Now's the time to learn their stories and understand the importance of these figures in the UFC. They're a part of the machine that makes this spectacle happen, and it's about these people that we'll talk next. Dana White, UFC president. Dana White was born on July 28, 1969 in Manchester, Connecticut, in the United States, and grew up in a lower middle-class family. Raised primarily by his mother, June White, alongside his sister Kelly, Dana faced a challenging childhood marked by frequent moves and financial instability. From an early age, he displayed an energetic and rebellious personality, along with a natural talent for leadership. Although he showed interest in sports during his youth, he didn't stand out as an athlete. What truly motivated him was his ability to organize and influence the people around him. After high school, White attended Boston University, but dropped out before completing his degree. During that time, he began working as a boxing instructor and organizing small sporting events, especially combat-focused ones. It was in Boston that he started to develop a closer connection with the world of martial arts and combat sports. Dana White saw a business opportunity when he noticed the growing interest in MMA, mixed martial arts, in the United States, a sport that still faced significant resistance and prejudice from the public and media. In the early 1990s, Dana moved to Las Vegas, Nevada, where he found better opportunities in the sports sector. There he began managing boxers and later transitioned to working as an agent for MMA athletes. During this time, White met some of the future icons of the UFC, such as Tito Ortiz and Chuck Liddell, and started managing their careers. These connections opened important doors and allowed him to establish relationships with influential figures in the fight industry. The major turning point in his career occurred in 2001 when Dana discovered that brothers Frank and Lorenzo Fertitta, casino owners in Las Vegas, were interested in investing in the fight industry. At the time, the UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Championship, was a marginalized organization, struggling financially with little regulation. UFC events were considered violent and amateurish spectacles, often labeled as street fights in a ring. The sport faced legal challenges and was banned in several states across the United States. Recognizing the UFC's potential, White convinced the Fertitta brothers to purchase the organization for $2 million from Semaphore Entertainment Group, which was on the brink of bankruptcy. After the acquisition, Dana was named president of the UFC, a position he still holds today. Under his leadership, the UFC underwent an extraordinary transformation. The first priority was to regulate the sport, implementing clear and workable rules to make it more acceptable to the public and authorities. He worked in partnership with athletic commissions to create a set of standards, known as the Unified Rules of MMA, which established guidelines for safety, weight classes, and standardized judging. Another crucial aspect of Dana White's management was his marketing and promotion strategy. He used his business acumen to turn fighters into global stars and events into entertainment spectacles. In 2005, the launch of the reality show The Ultimate Fighter was a game-changer for the UFC. The show, which featured fighters competing for a professional contract, helped popularize the sport and brought in a new fan base. The broadcast of the final fight between Forrest Griffin and Stephen Bonnar is considered one of the most important moments in UFC history, boosting viewership and solidifying MMA as a mainstream sport. Under Dana's leadership, the UFC evolved from a struggling organization into a global powerhouse. He negotiated television broadcast deals with networks such as Spike TV, Fox Sports, and more recently, ESPN, which provided widespread exposure for the events. Additionally, he expanded the UFC's presence into international markets, organizing events in countries like Brazil, Canada, China, and the United Arab Emirates. In 2016, Dana played a key role in the sale of the UFC to Endeavor, formerly WME IMG, for an astonishing $4 billion, the largest transaction in combat sports history. Although the organization changed hands, Dana remained as president and continued to play a crucial role in the operation and growth of the brand. Dana White is often described as a controversial figure, but his passion for the sport and determination to transform it into a global phenomenon are undeniable. He's built a reputation as a tough negotiator and a staunch advocate for his fighters, though he also faces criticism over issues such as athlete pay and corporate decision-making. Nonetheless, his journey is a remarkable example of entrepreneurial vision and resilience. Today, the UFC is valued in the billions, and Dana White is widely credited with elevating MMA to one of the most popular and profitable sports in the world. WME IMG Endeavor. The story of WME IMG, the owner of the UFC and now known as Endeavor, is a union of two entertainment giants born in different contexts, but together transforming the global sports and entertainment market. WME, William Morris Endeavor, dates back to 1898 when the William Morris Agency was founded in New York as a talent agency for vaudeville performers. Over the 20th century, the company grew and established itself as one of the largest in Hollywood, representing stars in film, music, and television. In 2009, William Morris merged with Endeavor Talent Agency, a young and more aggressive company founded in 1995 by former talent agents. Under the leadership of Ari Emanuel and Patrick Whitesell, this merger created WME, which quickly emerged as a global powerhouse in talent management. On the other hand, IMG, International Management Group, founded in 1960 in Cleveland, Ohio by Mark McCormick, revolutionized sports marketing by representing iconic athletes like Arnold Palmer. IMG expanded its activities to organize sporting events, fashion, and media, becoming essential in creating and promoting competitions and representing athletes. In 2014, WME acquired IMG for approximately $2.4 billion, creating WME IMG. This new entity combined WME's expertise in the entertainment industry with IMG's strength in sports and events, becoming one of the world's largest powerhouses in talent and marketing. 2 years later, in 2016, WME IMG led a consortium of investors to acquire the UFC for $4 billion, marking one of the largest deals in sports history. Under its management, the UFC expanded its international presence, establishing partnerships with ESPN and promoting events in new markets. WME IMG focused on growing the UFC brand globally, turning it into an entertainment powerhouse that maintains its sporting appeal and a growing fan base. In addition to the UFC, Endeavor's portfolio includes events such as Miss Universe, music festivals like Lollapalooza and Austin City Limits, as well as various sports and cultural properties. Today, Endeavor is led by Ari Emanuel, who serves as CEO and is recognized as one of the most influential organizations in the entertainment and sports sectors. Its long-term vision includes continued diversification of its portfolio, investments in technology, and expansion into emerging markets. The company continues to shape how audiences consume entertainment, sports, and culture, solidifying its position as a global giant. What can we expect from the future of the UFC? The future of the UFC under Dana White and the Endeavor Group promises to be vibrant, filled with expansion and innovation. With Dana's relentless passion for the sport and Endeavor's vast resources, the organization is perfectly positioned to explore new trends, conquer uncharted territories, and further solidify its status as the world's leading MMA powerhouse. International expansion will remain a top priority. We've already seen the UFC make strong entries into strategic locations like China, Russia, and the United Arab Emirates. But this is just the beginning. The goal now is to go even further, reaching emerging markets with immense potential, such as Africa. In addition to hosting events in new countries, the organization is focusing on local initiatives like the UFC Performance Institute in Shanghai, which helps discover and develop regional talent. This is not just growth, it's creating a solid foundation for the future of MMA on a global scale. Technology will be another central pillar in this journey. Under Endeavor's leadership, the UFC has already secured major partnerships such as deals with ESPN in the United States and will continue investing in streaming services and digital platforms to reach even more fans worldwide. The idea is to make the spectator experience increasingly immersive with exclusive content, interactivity, and even the use of virtual and augmented reality. Imagine watching a fight with real-time data and even feeling like you're in the octagon thanks to new technologies. It's the kind of experience that's expected to draw even more people to the sport. Beyond expanding technological horizons, the UFC will also continue investing heavily in its fighters. The goal is to discover new talent and turn these athletes into global icons while keeping the major stars in the spotlight. The UFC's ability to promote fighters as true celebrities is one of its keys to success, and the partnership with Endeavor is only expected to enhance this strength, connecting audiences and markets in even smarter ways. Financial growth is also on the radar. The UFC is expected to explore new revenue streams such as increased sponsorship deals, licensed merchandise, and strategic partnerships with booming sectors like sports betting. Endeavor's expertise in the entertainment market opens doors to unexpected collaborations and integrations that can bring the organization to new audiences, combining MMA with other cultural and entertainment experiences. Of course, challenges remain. Issues such as fighter pay and competition from rival organizations will always be on the table. However, with Dana White's experience in overcoming obstacles and Endeavor's strategic vision, the UFC is more than prepared to adapt and keep growing. What lies ahead is a mix of boldness, innovation, and determination to continue delivering the best of MMA to the world, winning over fans and markets at an ever-increasing pace. But what about you? What do you think about the stories of these people working behind the scenes at the UFC? Share your opinion in the comments, leave a like, and subscribe to the channel. A big hug, and we'll see you next time.